Hello, my friends, and happy full moon in Scorpio. Oh my goodness. We've got quite a bit of energy coming at us this week. So thank you for joining me. My name is Andrea Blythe of Let Love Rise, where I am passionate about the moon, music, mindset, and the magi. But today's Moon Talk. We're going to talk about this beautiful full moon in Scorpio, and it is happening at 4 degrees of Scorpio. So if you know your birth chart, this is a good time to pull it out to see what house Scorpio is in for you. And then there's a couple of interesting things about this new moon that I want. New moon is not new, it is full. All you have to do is look at that beautiful sky tonight and you will see her reflecting this beautiful sun in Taurus. But knowing your birth chart will give you some insight into the area of your life that it is shining a light on, and what it is unearthing. Scorpio is a water sign that goes down into the depths, and being a mermaid soul myself, I love Scorpio. I love diving into the depths. I love seeing what's down there, what's really underneath the root of all the surface energy, or perhaps even the masks that we wear. And I realize that for a lot of people, that's a very uncomfortable place. So know that you're not alone on that. But in addition to this beautiful full moon that we have happening tonight, it is forming a square or a near square with Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. So very much Pluto is the planet of transformation and change, who switched into the sign of Aquarius earlier this year and is just shaking things up. I mean, between the eclipses, Pluto in Aquarius, and this full moon, you might be feeling like, oh, and Mercury retrograde, which is ending this week. Can I get a what? Thank heavens, right? But there's power in the pause. But what I was saying is that you might be feeling that a lot of things have been stirred up for you. And the way that I sort of envision this full moon and the energy of this week, and perhaps as we close out the month of April even, is like a fish tank. So quick story here. When I was, probably late junior high, early high school, I went to our county fair and played one of those games, where you throw ping pong balls into a little bowl of water. And if it landed in one, the fish, the poor little fish that was hanging in that little bowl of water, was yours and you won it. So I won a fish at the county fair, and that fish, that little tiny goldfish, I named her Tiny Bubbles, lived with me for 8 years, people. 8 years. I had Tiny Bubbles, and when I moved away to college, sadly, she swam on. However, the thing is about this fish is when you have a fish tank, and it's murky and it's time to clear out the waters, there's like this little vacuum, and you scrape down the side, you kind of wash down the sides, and you vacuum the rocks, and you wash the fake plants that are in there. You just kind of scrub everything up, and then as you clean it and you vacuum out the water and you put in the new water and are working on cleaning this tank, when you step back from your work, you're like, ugh, that looks like so much worse than it did when I started. And that's very similar to this energy of the month of April and this Scorpio full moon. It is stirring stuff up from the bottom, from the depths of our soul, and it is lifting it up. But then, like an hour later, you go back and you see your fish tank and it is crystal clear and it's beautiful, and your fish is so happy in there, and she lives for 8 years. But that's just a great analogy, I think, for this moon, because it is asking us, Scorpio always wants us to look into the depths of our soul and to see what is under the surface, and to excavate it. And when we do, on a full moon like the one we have tonight, we have the opportunity to release what is no longer serving us, to release the things that are weighing us down. It could be mindset, it could be cycles of behavior, behavior, it could be a habit, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a living situation. And again, that's where knowing your chart is helpful. So Pluto having this square to this full moon is really transforming something in our world. So just be open and know that sometimes, you know, it gets murkier before it gets clear, but when we do the work, oh my goodness, my friends, it's so beautiful. The clarity that comes when we recognize the stuff that we no longer need and move forward a little bit lighter. So that's my hope for you, that you can work with the full moon in that way. And then lastly, before I sign off here, I do want to talk about Mercury retrograde because it is going to be moving direct this Thursday, right? The 25th of April. So Mercury, the planet of communication, has a lot to do with technology and all of that good stuff, has been retrograde in the sign of Aries. And both Aries and Scorpio are ruled by the planet Mars. So again, it goes back to the fish tank because it's important to look at, well, where's Mars right now? And Mars is in the sign of Pisces, a water sign. So once again, and Mars does not do great in Pisces. It is murky, it is slow. However, as Mercury comes out of retrograde, it's happening at the exact point where the eclipse was on April 8th. So that was, I forget if it's 18 or 19 degrees of Aries, but right around there. Chiron is also, the wounded healer is also close by that. So it's significant to even reflect back to where were you, what were you working through as we moved through the eclipses in Libra and Aries at the end of March, early April, because that stuff might be coming back up again, be coming back around for us to examine. So just be aware. I think that one of the gifts of astrology, of the Magi, of any sort of system that helps us pull focus to what is happening on a bigger scale and how it might be affecting us personally, just helps us navigate the waters a little bit easier, have a little bit of a heads up of like, oh, okay, that might be why this is happening, or that's why this idea is stuck, or I've just had to pull back and get clear on what is happening, and really just constantly surrender to the flow of what we're being called to, and to listen to our bodies. When our bodies, you know, I mean, I'm an Aries rising, so I'm like, let's go. Jump first, think second. And the energy right now is counterintuitive to that. It is a slower energy, partially because of the retrograde, and partially because of Mars being in the sign of Pisces. However, after this full moon into next week, we have a couple planetary shifts that are going to move momentum in a really supportive way. Mars will go into its home sign of Aries, and the beautiful Venus will go into Taurus. So I love that. Like this hammock experience for me is very like Venus in Taurus, just savoring the beauty and the goodness and savoring the simplicity, the slow life. So there are some shifts coming after this full moon. So it's a really, really good time to focus in on what can you release? What do you want to let go of? What do you want to offer up to the moon over the course of the next couple of days to have her pull back into the darkness and release into the underworld so that you can just free yourself and move forward a little bit lighter and a whole lot more clear. With that said, one of the things that is taking shape, it has not taken complete form yet, is the next step in the Let Love Rise evolution, which is a membership site. So a membership site, and this is one of those things that the flow has led this idea to cross my path at this time, because I feel like it is the right time to invite people in to join as a founding member of Let Love Rise for $34, which is $1 more than a moon circle. And the new moon in Taurus is included. So you always get a moon circle as a part of the membership. But I wanted to create a space where people can connect weekly. Maybe this is the Taurus in me, just having that steady, that consistency to meet on Monday mornings. Monday is Moon Day, so it makes so much sense for, moon, music, mindset, magi, membership on Monday. So we'll be meeting on Mondays at 10 a.m. starting Monday, May 6th. And if you would like to be a part of a community to grow in your own spiritual knowledge of the astrological energies, we'll have our first week will always be dedicated to the moon. The second week of the month, music. And all my students who knew me in my former life as a French teacher, I think that is probably the thing that I am most remembered for is musique mercredi, how I would always do music as a way to teach and to share, because music is it is universal. And it has a way of connecting generations. It has a way of connecting people from different continents, different languages. You just get a rhythm and a beat, and it's amazing. So we'll have lots of fun discussions on the second week of the month dedicated to music. The third week will be dedicated to mindset, which I think we can all use, no matter what our level of understanding of the power of our minds are. Just like a little focus on mindset. And then finally, what I'm so excited to be sharing with my members is the Magi. Earlier this month, I was certified in the Order of the Magi as a Card of Destiny reader, and I will be sharing the magic behind this system using a standard deck of cards and what it reveals about your present, your past, your future, and answering questions. And that's what this membership is really geared towards. It's part instruction and learning. So I will lead us off with a lesson, about 15, maybe 20 minutes. But the remainder of the live call is dedicated to interaction, discussion, questions. It could be personal questions that you have, like if you don't understand, well, I don't even know, what is the 8th house of my astrological chart? Can you explain what 8th house means? Or my moon is in, the 6th house. What does that actually mean for me? So it could be of a personal nature. It could be of a bigger question that you have, and just generally great conversations with awesome people who are really interested in taking their life experience and elevating it. Because if nothing else, I just feel like the time is now for us to rise up, to shine and ignite our own light and in our personal lives, and then have that ripple out to others in our community. And we do this so well when we do come together in community. So if this speaks to you, please join the founding members launch. I'll put the information in the links below. And then lastly, if you are local to the Boise area, I will be teaching an intro to the Magi class on Wednesday, May 1st. So you can get details on that by visiting Let Love Rise, or in the, Let Love Rise is probably the easiest way to go. So that is what I have for Moontalk this beautiful Tuesday, April 23rd. Be gentle with yourself as we excavate these deeper, which they could be wounds, right? These deeper stories, and we transmute the energy to be helpful rather than a burden. We don't have to stay trapped in the stories and in the patterns and in the cycles and in the places. We have the ability to put fear in the back seat and get in the front seat of our vehicle, our ship, our car, whatever you imagine, and take ownership about the direction that you want your life to go. And I will just say, my experience in Spain taught me when my luggage was lost that, oh my gosh, traveling light is amazing. I was so thankful to have a couple of days without my luggage to travel from Madrid down to this sleepy little town in southern Spain. And then the return trip, once my luggage did arrive at my hotel, and then I had to carry that luggage all around Madrid on my return trip, I was like, I need to pack lighter from now on. I need to pack lighter. So the same can be said for our mental baggage. So there's the invitation. Thank you so much for listening. As always, if this message resonated with you, I would appreciate a like, share it with anybody who you think might enjoy. And that's how it goes. That's how we create community and continue to spread the good vibes. Thank you so much for listening. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.